And welcome to another Nerdy Agent Podcast Business Tip of the Week.
It's the business tip of the week time.
Without Josh. So just one business tip intro song by AJ today. Today we are going to talk about systematically attacking your sphere of influence, not seriously attacking them, but attacking them in follow-ups and hanging out. Do you want to start rocking, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I think this is such an important one that we try to coach and mentor the agents on our team about. This is how I got going in real estate, really, was just through Sphere. You know, we've talked about before how we have opportunity, you know, online leads, Zillow, Google, Facebook kind of stuff from everywhere. But I do think if you want to create a long-term business, Sphere is really the way to do it. So whether that's taking online leads that you're buying or you're, getting access to, or you're being provided from a team that you're on, it's very important that you think with the lens of turning those people into Sphere contacts later on. So what I did when I first got into real estate is I took all of my contacts that I invited to my wedding and I bucketed them into either a 30-day follow-up, a 60-day follow-up, or a 90-day follow-up. If you don't know where to put them, just put them somewhere.
The first thing you did was get a CRM.
First thing I did was get a CRM.
So get a CRM, create those buckets, and then bucket all your people. And even if you don't have the people from your wedding, go through your phone.
Exactly.
And write them all down.
You can find this. It's manual and it kind of stinks to do, but this is your job now in real estate to basically follow up with your friends, take them out for coffee, take them out for lunch. I still do this every single week. Our VA sends me 10 contacts Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I follow up with them. I usually book a lunch or a coffee with one of them each time that I follow up with 10. This gets me in front of my sphere, my past clients, my friends and family, and it gives me a better chance that they're going to reach out to me when they want to transact real estate or when their sphere wants to transact real estate.
So I want to back up and this is our big thing, right? We're big into systems. We're big into processes. So we can talk about you have to meet with them, you have to text with them, right? That's important. I want to talk about how we track that and how we track the data on the back end. So the first thing you had said there was you bucket. So Joe Schmo, you write it, you put his number into your CRM and you say, I want to follow up with Joe Schmo every either 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. We have a 180 bucket, but I suggest to people to not put people in the 180 bucket because you're not following up with them enough. And then every single time you follow up with them, you go into your CRM and you say, I followed up with Joe Schmo, or I got a coffee with Joe Schmo, and this is what's going on in his life, so that the next time in 60 days when you're going to follow up with him again, you actually have something maybe to say, or you've been following him on social media or whatnot.
Yeah, that's a brilliant way to do it. And I also, Luke's gotten more systematic, which he can get into some of this with past clients and stuff, but I also, anytime they have a big life event, I try to do something cool to make them feel cool about it. So someone has a baby. We send them the same book every time, Good Night Baseball. I send it from my children from Amazon. It's $8. Everyone gets it and is immediately like, wow, that was the coolest thing ever. Make people feel important and elevate every moment in their life as much as you can, because that's what's going to make them think of you, and they're going to think good things of you, hopefully, when that time does come. But Luke, you should get in to talk about how you.
So we did do a business tip about this. So outside of the systematically tracking when you're talking to people, what you're saying to them, what they're saying back to you, I'd say the easiest ones you could do. They got engaged, they got married, they had a baby, their birthday happens, and their home anniversary happens. So if someone ever gets engaged, I always text them. A lot of my friends are getting engaged right now. When they get married, you can say congrats. The other ones you can do is send the book for the babies. And then the other easiest too for me is every year on their home anniversary, so the day they closed on that house, I just send them a card that says happy home anniversary. I have printed out postcards that are pre-made, so I don't have to write on them because my handwriting stinks and it takes too long. And then on their birthday, I have a birthday card that I send to them. Every single time.
And you know what's beautiful about that is Luke's using technology, notably the CRM, and technology to send him the cards so he has them, so he doesn't have to recreate the wheel every time he sends this out. But there is still a very manual component to what he's doing. And we hear people all the time say, can I just automate that? And I'm like, I don't know, can you automate your relationship with your best friend?
Or your wife?
Yeah, probably not. Like, that's not a great way to have relationships with people.
No.
You can't automate this stuff. You can't automate people thinking of you and feeling good about it. You can automate some of the process, but there has to be a manual portion to this. You have to physically follow up with people. I still, again, 400 homes later, sold later, I still reach out to my past clients and I say, what summer plans do you have? Like any projects you guys are working on at your house? How is everything going? Saw you went on a cool trip. All of that, because what that does is it not only gets me in front of them, because you can automate and have it send out some generic email that says, happy summer, you should clean your gutters out. And that's fine, but don't make that your only follow-up with people. It's just not, it's not enough of a good touch to make people remember you, because the 30 days after you reach out to one of your friends is your best chance to get a referral. It's happened to me numerous times where I talk to somebody and then they go to a party and then that friend says, oh, I might be buying a house this year. I might be selling my house.
And then I get to my agent.
And then I get a text and I'm like, I texted Joe Schmo last week and all of a sudden here's Jill Schmo, because Jill Schmo is friends with Joe and they must have gotten
They're
together.
actually brother and sister, same last name.
There we go. I love that. So that does happen over and over. And I've never been at the conversation when it's happening, but I know it's I got one 2 weeks ago where I have a client bought a house. They're renting their place out. We had a long conversation about renting the home out, kind of best steps, all that kind of thing. Then I got a call from their friend from high school that said, we want to sell our house and buy our house. Are you available to help us with that? And that I guarantee happened because they got together, they mentioned that, and they said, oh, this is the guy you have to reach out to.
If you're going to take one thing from this business tip, take the fact that you should not automate the entire process of following up with your sphere of influence ever. And I don't know if this was intentional. AJ's mic might be out, so I'm just going to finish up.
Nope, it's good.
I don't know if this was intentional while we were creating these follow-ups, but I just realized that none of our sphere follow-ups are automated fully. We send out the monthly newsletter. I have to manually type what I was doing. I have to send it to our VA. He packages it all together. He sends it out. All of our events, we have someone putting all that together. I put all my postcards in the thing. I text all my people. When I meet them, it's in person. I don't have a generic. I have a what you should do in the spring, but it's a postcard that I have to go on Vistaprint and send to them, right? When I get an email from somebody that says, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, they did nothing. It was just sent.
Unsubscribe. That's what happens.
Don't fully automate anything. Reach out to your sphere of influence, especially if you're a new agent. I know you have time because I was there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, Luke, early on you said this, what if I reach out and I want to go to coffee and they're thinking I'm trying to sell them something? And to that, what do we say that Tom Ferry always says? Get out of your own head, because your head is a very scary place to be. They don't think that. If you're friends with people and you reach out to them and say, we should grab coffee, they might be like, oh, Luke just got into real estate. That's why he wants to grab coffee. But then you sit down and you just ask them how they're doing. How's your job? How's life? How's everything going in your world? And then you do it over and over and over. And they go, I really like hanging out with Luke. He asks me questions about me. He actually cares about me. He wants to be a good friend. And it's not disingenuous. It's just a great part about being in real estate. Is you get to just talk to your friends.
Yeah. And some people will. I've definitely had the 1% of people that are, why are you texting me? I've gotten that one. Just move on, guys. You don't worry about rejection. You're going to get a lot of it. If you can't handle the rejection, you're going to have to get out of the ring, I think, is going to be the biggest issue with real estate. So keep battling, keep hanging out with friends.
Love it.
That's all we got this week for the Nerdy Agent Podcast. Business tip of the week.
Business tip of the week.
Josh is not here.